Interfere with my course! Become a Spirit Stone!
2026 is shaping up to be a monster year for gaming. From the return of industry titans to ambitious new IPs that look ready to take them on, there's no shortage of hype. If you've been waiting for a reason to upgrade your PC or finally get a PS5, this is it. Now here are 15 new AAA or big budget blockbuster games releasing in 2026. Grand Theft Auto 6, November 19, 2026. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Grand Theft Auto 6 isn't gonna be just a game. It's gonna be a cultural touchstone. Launching November 19, this is the title that will likely freeze the rest of the industry in its tracks. Rockstar is going to take us to Leonida, a satirical, sun-soaked reimagining of Florida that is both dense and massive. The dual protagonist dynamic of Lucia and Jason promises a Bonnie and Clyde narrative that feels more intimate and dramatic than the chaotic trio from GTA 5. But what really takes the cake here is the simulation level. We're looking at a world where NPCs have genuine routines and personalities, where the police AI doesn't just spawn behind you, but actively sets up perimeters. And many side characters with large quests and stories are here as well. Hell, even the beer in the beer bottles have liquid physics. It's probably going to be the most expensive entertainment product ever made, and every frame of footage shows off that budget. 007 First Light, May 27, 2026. I'm excited to see IO Interactive work their magic on James Bond because if anyone can nail the fantasy of being a spy, it's the creators of Hitman. After redefining the stealth genre with the World of Assassination trilogy, they are tackling an origin story for the world's most famous spy, giving us a fresh look at a younger Bond earning his 00 status. 007 First Light got pushed to May 27 for extra polish, which we hope means the game will release smoothly and be a critical acclaim, the likes of which the 007 games haven't seen since GoldenEye came out for the N64. The gameplay is the big draw here, with IOI describing it as the ultimate spy fantasy, blending the social stealth IOI is famous for with punchy action set pieces, car chases, and high-tech gadgetry that the James Bond franchise is famous for. They're also moving away from the enter-level, kill-target, leave-level loop to something more narrative-driven, likely requiring us to gather intel and infiltrate high-society galas before the bullets start flying. You know, it's looking to be like a globe-trotting adventure that aims to rival Uncharted in terms of cinematic spectacle, while keeping that distinct cerebral IOI flavor that rewards patience and planning over brute force. Sorrows, April 30, 2026. Housemarque is one of those studios that quietly puts out underground hits, such as their PS5 flagship game, Returnal. And this time, Sorrows looks like their biggest, most ambitious swing yet since joining the PlayStation Studios family. Launching April 30, this is going to be the spiritual successor to Returnal, but it seems to be ditching the punishing roguelike loop for a more structured, linear action-adventure experience that focuses more on a narrative progression. You play as Arjun Devraj on the shifting planet of Carcosa, and the visual are equal parts mesmerizing and chaotic, with particle effects that fill the screen without dropping a single frame. The second chance mechanic, which is essentially a free revive, suggests they're making this more approachable for a wider audience without losing that bullet hell intensity that defines their studio identity. The scale here feels massive, with psychological and cosmic horror elements mixed with explosive combat against giant, towering alien constructs. It's described as the ultimate evolution of their arcade-style gameplay. And if it plays half as good as it looks, it's gonna be a heavy hitter for the PS5. Pragmata, April 24, 2026. It feels like we have been waiting for Pragmata for forever, and the mystery surrounding it has only made me want it more. Originally revealed alongside the PS5 itself, this mysterious Capcom title is finally slated to land on April 24, bringing its bizarre dystopian lunar setting to life. It's a sci-fi action-adventure set on a colonized moon, and starring an astronaut in a high-tech spacesuit with a little girl who has strange, reality-bending powers. The presentation is incredibly Kojima-esque, with a mix of surreal imagery, cat holograms, and physics-defying mechanics that suggest gravity will be a major gameplay tool. What takes all this to the next level is the sheer technical prowess on display. The ray tracing and material physics look so realistic, showcasing what the RE engine can do when it isn't rendering zombies. Capcom has been on a winning streak lately with Resident Evil and Monster Hunter, so, seeing them tackle a brand new IP with this level of budget and skill is exciting. We still don't know exactly how it plays, but the mystery is half the appeal at this point. Resident Evil Requiem, February 27, 2026. Capcom isn't slowing down for a second, delivering what sounds like the ultimate finale to the current era of survival horror. Resident Evil Requiem is set to close out the Winter's family saga while bringing back fan favorites, creating a bridge between the new and old generations of the beloved franchise. Leaks and trailers have confirmed a split campaign where you play as both Rose Winters, who uses her mold powers, and the legendary Leon S. Kennedy. This 50-50 split between supernatural horror and tactical action is a bold move, offering two completely different gameplay loops within the same game. The game is set in a sinister Nioh umbrella facility called the Sanctuary, and the graphical fidelity of the RE engine continues to look incredibly photorealistic. The addition of the morphic visor mechanics for Rose suggests we are getting some reality-bending puzzles, while Leon sections will likely deliver the suplexing tactical combat we loved from the RE4 remake. It's gearing up to be a massive celebratory crossover of the franchise's past and future. Nioh 3, February 6, 2026. Team Ninja is returning to their take on a Souls-like game, and Nioh 3 looks to be expanding the scope significantly to compete with the genre giants. Releasing February 6th, this entry is rumored to be taking the action beyond Japan, exploring the chaotic and mythic Free Kingdoms era of China. The key pulse combat is still going to be there, but they're adding open-world elements that allow for more strategic approaches to combat encounters, moving away from the purely mission-based structure of the past. The sheer number of weapons, stances, and yokai abilities promises a level of build diversity that will have hundreds of build videos and articles written about it. I am eager to see how they interpret famous figures like Lu Bu within the Nioh lore, turning historical generals into terrifying boss fights. It's a fast, punishing, and visually dazzling action RPG that caters to the hardcore crowd who grew up on Dark Souls and the other Nioh games. Code Vein 2, January 29, 2026. Speaking of Souls-likes, Code Vein 2 is kicking off the year on January 29, and it looks like Bandai Namco has poured a massive budget into the sequel. The first game was a cult hit thanks to its edgy aesthetic and story, as well as its incredibly deep character creator. And, the sequel is doubling down on everything. We are moving out of the claustrophobic city ruins into a wider, interconnected world that connects the lore more directly to the God Eater universe, confirming the shared timeline fans have theorized about. The Blood Code class system is getting a massive overhaul, allowing for even more fluid switching between playstyles mid-combat, so you can go from a heavy tank to a spellcaster on the fly. Now, with the new and improved multiplayer and a story that dives deeper into the horrors of the Revenants and their thirst for blood, this is looking to be a polished, big-budget sequel that the fans have been begging for. I loved spending hours in the character creator screen making my own anime OCs in the original, so I really can't wait to do that again in Code Vein 2.
Order up!
Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflection, March 13, 2026. While Monster Hunter Wilds is handling the arcadey, pure hunting gameplay loop, Stories 3 Twisted Reflection is here to scratch that JRPG itch. Launching on March 13, this game looks absolutely gorgeous on the new hardware, with a cel-shaded art style that makes it look like a playable anime. You play as the heir of Azuria, teaming up with a princess from a rival kingdom to stop an environmental disaster that's turning the monsters feral. The turn-based combat is deeper than before, introducing new kinship attacks that have amazing animated scenes, and the gene splicing mechanic for your monsties is more complex for the min-maxers. The story seems surprisingly mature, dealing with political intrigue between kingdoms and the ecological consequences of human expansion. It's a massive, colorful adventure that proves this spin-off series is here to stay, offering a perfect entry point for those who want to try Monster Hunter without having to dedicate days preparing for hunts. Yakuza Kiwami Free and Dark Ties, February 12, 2026. RGG Studio is comprised of absolute machines, pumping out quality titles at a pace that only the Japanese can achieve. Not only are we getting Yakuza Kiwami Free, a full ground-up remake of the third game that fixes the terrible blockbuster combat, but it's also launching alongside a new expansion titled Dark Ties. This package lands on February 12 and brings the tropical setting of Okinawa to life with a lively dragon engine, making the ocean water and bustling markets look breathtaking. Seeing a younger Kiryu dealing with the orphanage drama in modern graphics is going to be emotional, hitting those dramatic, emotional beats the series is famous for. The Dark Ties itself seems to be a bit of a wild card. It's rumored to bridge the gap between the older games and the new Like a Dragon RPG style, and potentially featuring characters from the Ichiban Kasuga saga. It's a massive value proposition that serves both the brawler fans and the new turn-based audience. Crimson Desert, March 19, 2026. I still can't believe that Crimson Desert is a real game, and not just a tech demo, because the fidelity they are showing off is, no pun intended, unreal. I mean, despite it looking like an Unreal Engine game, Crimson Desert is using the independently developed Black Space engine. Pearl Abyss is delivering what looks like the most chaotic open-world action RPG I've seen, with an engine that handles physics in a way I haven't seen before. The release date is set for March 19, and the gameplay trailer shows systems that are deep and varied. You can climb on giant monsters like in Dragon's Dogma, wrestle enemies to the ground, and destroy entire environments. It's a single-player narrative game set in the world of Black Desert, but with the mechanical freedom of Breath of the Wild, and with the RPG mechanics of The Witcher 3, giving you unparalleled freedom in how you tackle objectives. The protagonist is a mercenary leader, and the story involves managing your band of fighters while navigating a war-torn continent, adding a layer of management on top of everything else. If the performance holds up on consoles, this could be the surprise hit of the year that redefines open-world RPGs. Phantom Blade Zero, September 9, 2026. If you love martial arts action, Phantom Blade Zero is the game you'll be looking forward to, because it looks faster and more stylish than anything else on the market right now. Releasing September 9, this kung fu punk game blends traditional Chinese aesthetics with a sci-fi steampunk world, creating a world filled with both mechanical limbs and ancient swords. The combat animations are some of the fastest I have ever seen, looking less like a video game and more like a choreographed Hong Kong action movie, with parries and counters flowing seamlessly together in the gameplay trailers. It's not a slow, methodical Souls-like. The developers have emphasized a combo-heavy, aggressive gameplay where you're constantly on the offense, overwhelming enemies with speed and force. The semi-open world design allows for exploration without the bloat and technical complexity of a massive map, and the dark, rainy atmosphere sets a mood that is distinct and very punk. It's a fresh IP from a Chinese developer that is clearly aiming for global blockbuster status, and we all hope the game succeeds. Marvel's Wolverine, fall of 2026. Insomniac Games had struck gold with their Spider-Man trilogy, and now they're letting out the claws for a completely different hero. Marvel's Wolverine is targeting a fall 2026 release, and it promises to be a darker, more mature experience that is common for Wolverine games. We are finally getting a superhero game that isn't afraid of the M rating. The dismemberment technology allows for visceral combat where limbs and gore fly, and damage is permanent on enemies, fitting Wolverine's Berserker Blade style perfectly. The narrative is a standalone story, exploring Logan's time in Madripoor or the Canadian wilderness, distancing itself from the MCU to tell a unique comic-inspired story. It's a linear, narrative-driven action game that focuses on the loneliness, difficulty, and brutality of being Wolverine, utilizing his healing factor as a core gameplay mechanic that actually shows the damage healing in real time on his model. It's arguably the most anticipated hero game since Arkham Asylum, and I can't wait to play as Wolverine again. Gears of War E-Day 2026. I honestly think this is the smartest move the franchise has made in a decade, taking us right back to the start of the war. Gears of War E-Day is a prequel set during the initial chaos of Emergence Day, starring a younger Marcus Phoenix and Dom Santiago before they became the war-torn veterans we know. This is a brilliant move that moves away from the sci-fi tech blood of the later games and returns to the survival horror-esque roots of the original, where the Locusts were mysterious monsters in the dark rather than just standard infantry. Powered by UE5, the destruction and gore are going to be next-gen, with lighting effects that make the crumbling cities and underground tunnels feel actually claustrophobic. We're finally seeing the Locusts as terrifying, overwhelming monsters again, not just the cannon fodder we're used to, which should make every encounter feel heavier and more desperate. I am particularly looking forward to the story beat where, for the first time, someone decided to strap a chainsaw to a rifle to take down a locust. The emotional weight of witnessing the early days of Marcus and Dom's brotherhood, knowing the tragedy that awaits them in the future, is going to hit hard for longtime fans like me. Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis 2026. Lara Croft is back, and she is going back to where it all started to reclaim her throne as Queen of Adventure Games. Announced at the Game Awards, Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis is a full, from-the-ground-up remake of the 1996 original, powered by Unreal Engine 5. This isn't just a remaster, it's a total reimagining that expands the story, modernizes the tank controls and fluid traversal, and turns the jagged caves of Peru and Atlantis into breathtaking cinematic environments. Crystal Dynamics is keeping the isolation and puzzle-solving focus of the classic, where the environment is the main enemy, while adding the survival mechanics and crafting of the modern Survivor trilogy. Now, seeing the iconic T-Rex encounter with modern graphics and physics is going to be pure cinema, blending millennial nostalgia with modern AAA standards. It's a celebration of Lara's legacy, stripping away the depressed Lara trope for the confident adventurer we 90s kids know and love. Control Resonant 2026. Remedy is doing what Remedy does best, and I'm here for every second of this new mind-bending madness. Control Resonant, formerly known as Control 2, expands the shared Remedy-verse, but with a massive twist. This time, you're playing as Dylan Faden, Jesse's troubled and volatile brother. This shift brings a new, more aggressive power set to the table, while still using the iconic Aberrant gun from the previous game, which can shapeshift into different forms for gameplay variety. We are leaving the claustrophobic corridors of the oldest house and entering a warped Manhattan that is being consumed by the hiss, turning the city's streets into a surreal nightmarescape. Instead of just being a linear shooter, this round it has RPG elements, meaning deeper stats, exploration, and player agency in how you build your character's abilities. The budget has been significantly increased, and with Annapurna co-financing, Remedy has the freedom to go full psychedelic horror without compromise. It also connects deeply to Alan Wake 2, creating a massive, connected universe that's unlike anything else in gaming right now. So these were our 15 most anticipated games that are going to destroy our wallets and social lives in 2026. Whether you're looking for open world, survival horror, or just want to slice things up with adamantium claws, next year has something for you. The sheer variety here has a little something for everyone, and the jump in technology suggests we are finally seeing what these consoles are truly capable of. It's a good time to be a gamer, so you'd better start saving up now.